Are you guys ready to go tonight? I am so pumped up. We've got so much awesome stuff that came out today, and I am super excited about getting into it. Yay! All right, before we get started ripping into our boxes and our packs, we do have a little info to go over, so let's try to plow through that so we can start ripping stuff. I'm dying to get into this stuff. I'm going to tell you that straight up. All right, so what you see on the message right there, or on the screen right there rather, is a quick little message letting you know that my feedback is automated on eBay. That means you don't ever have to wait on me, at least not for feedback, right? So as soon as you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get it in return. Win-win. And then, of course, the second message there is to say thank you. I do appreciate everyone who is bidding and breaking and chatting and hanging out with me tonight on this new release night that I'm so excited about. Yeah, lots of fun in store for us tonight. We're taking a look right now at breaks that are already listed on eBay. This is the stuff coming up over the course of the next 5 days. Tomorrow night is a half case of Leaf Autograph football jerseys, start of a new case. It's going to be more Flawless Collegiate, more Impeccable Basketball, and more Archive Signature Series. Friday night, half case of mini football helmets. That is the start of a new case as well. Flawless Collegiate makes another appearance. National Treasures Baseball gets back in the mix, as does Bowman Chrome Baseball. On Saturday, we're going to start at 9:30 that night, too. Another early start time for us on Saturday. That'll be an autographed baseball glove, a half case of autographed baseball jerseys, which will be the back half of a case. Then we will open a full-size football helmet, more flawless collegiate football, and we'll open a 16-box master case of Upper Deck Goodwin Champions. So that's going to be a lot of fun, too. Sunday, Leaf Best of Baseball full case. That is hot, hot, hot. That's probably one of the hottest Leaf products of the year. That and Trinity Baseball are usually the two that are hardest to get and yield amazing results. So that comes out on Friday. We'll start breaking it on Sunday. We'll also break another case of Bowman High Tech, and we'll do an 8-box case of Illusions on Sunday. Of course, we're doing 16 tonight. We'll do 8 more on Sunday. On Monday, a half case of autographed baseball jerseys. That is the back half of a case we've already started, is it? I guess it is. Archive Signature Series retired players, another case of that. More Flawless Collegiate, more NT Baseball, more Impeccable Basketball. So that's our week ahead. For tonight, there's lots of information on this page. First, let me tell you the order that we're going to be breaking in, okay? So first up, it's going to be the Archive Signature Series Retired Players Edition, followed by Impeccable Basketball, then Flawless Collegiate Football, then Illusions Football. So that's the order. Archive Signature Series, Impeccable, Flawless Collegiate, Illusions. Other thing you need to know, there is no mail service on Monday, this upcoming, for the holiday, which I did not remember until the postman told me that today. So normally this would have been projected to all ship out on Monday. Instead, I'm projecting it to all ship out on Tuesday because of the holiday. And I will try very hard to get as much of it out early as I can, if any. So if I can get any of it out on Saturday, I will. Of course, you guys know the deal there. It's a short post office day on Saturday too, but I'll crank it out as quickly as I can. The next thing you need to know is about consolation cards. If you are in a break tonight and your team is not pulled, you are entitled to a consolation trading card. It can be from any year and any series. I just grab one for your team, and that's how it works. I track it for a rolling 90-day period. If you're in one of the free shipping breaks tonight, I will typically hold on to your consolation card until the next time you have a package heading your way, in which case I gather them all up, put them in that package, and they go at once. If you're in one of those free shipping breaks and you don't want to wait, all you have to do, send me a message, let me know. I will drop that consolation card in an envelope with a stamp and send it your way right off the bat. Paid shipping breaks, if you get skunked in one of those, which tonight is Impeccable and Illusions, consolation cards would ship out with the rest of the break. So that is all the 411. Now we're down to business. First up, 20 boxes of 2018 Archive Signature Series Retired Players Edition full case break number 1. Everything we're opening tonight ended tonight on eBay, Wednesday night, the 3rd of October. And of course, it all came out today too. Because really, Topps and Panini just thought, hey, why not give them 100 zillion things to break all at once? So that's what they did, and here we are. New spreadsheet, of course, will go up before every break. So if you're not in this one, you're going to get a chance to see your name up there shortly. And you might have noticed the background just went out of focus. I did that on purpose. I don't like using autofocus. So we're going to be able to see cards fine, though. Don't worry. And for those of you who are looking at this going 20 box case, oh no. It's one encased card per box, guys, so it's super quick. The longest part of the break is just getting everything out of the boxes. Once we get that accomplished, it's actually a pretty quick break, considering that it is a full case. So don't get too worried about that. Impeccable, again, not a very long break, nor is Flawless Collegiate. Each of those are relatively quick. Illusions will be our big break tonight with a 16 box master case to 8 box inners. Now, who is in chat tonight? We can look at that, catch up on that while I'm getting these out of here. Scott is here, Edward's here, NK25, and Greg, and Martin, and Gus, and who's everybody got in here tonight? We've got, oh, somebody says it's their first break. That's Hugger. It's Hugger's first break. Hi, Hugger. NK25, you typed in monkey. You know, I have a kitten named Monkey that I found outside actually almost a year ago. He found him outside sick and malnourished and blah, 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 back in November, I guess it was, late October, early November of last year. So, yeah. Richard, you probably missed the rundown that I just went through a moment ago. So let's go through that again for anybody else who might have jumped in late. We are doing Archive Signature Series first. That's what I'm taking out of the boxes right now. After that, we will do Impeccable. After we do Impeccable, we will be doing Flawless Collegiate Football. After we do Flawless Collegiate Football, we'll be doing Illusions Football. So that's the way it's going to roll tonight. Jay Allen is here. He's got the Royals, the Phillies, and the D-backs, huh? All right. Well, that sounds like a pretty good lineup. Of course, this Archive Signature Series, this, of course, is the Retired Players Edition. They had called this, last year they called this Postseason, the second edition that came out. And this year it's the same kind of theory, and the checklist looks very similar, but it is called Retired Players Edition this year, just to keep us all on our toes. Sarah's here, Ellen's here. Hi, Sarah and Ellen. I don't get as many females breaking and hanging with me, so nice to see you ladies. Jay Allen says he's going to need good luck. Oh, come on, man. Don't go into it thinking that. You have to go into it thinking that you are going to crush this break and that every hit is going to be yours. Always got to have the attitude that you're going to crush it, right? That's what I'm thinking. Speaking of crushing it, anytime you want to keep me posted on that Yankees game, you let me know. You can fill me in on the score if you get a chance along the way. If anything unusual happens between the Yankees and the A's. Buckeye for Fun just joined us. Hi, Buckeye. Greg, you didn't get in this break, huh? Not to worry, Greg. We've got more cases of this that are coming up. In fact, I think there's another one tomorrow night. But even beyond that, we'll be breaking this on into next week even. So, first out, it's Reggie Jackson. I always liked Reggie Jackson for the New York Yankees. Behind that, we have Jason Giambi for the, I'm going to pronounce all the names wrong. Let's just get that out right now. That is for the Cardinals, and it is numbered to 14. By the way, that Reggie Jackson is 1 of 1, and I didn't really notice that until I sat it down, but it is a 1 of 1 Reggie Jackson, so by the by, okay, for what that's worth to you. Numbered to 12, it is Edgar Martinez. And Edgar is a Mariner. For the Dodgers, we have Manny Mata for numbered to 99. I just about didn't see what that was numbered to. And this, for the Mets, is Darryl Strawberry, which is also a 1 of 1. So I'm digging the 1 of 1s. Yeah, I'm very much digging 1 of 1s of Darryl Strawberry and Reggie Jackson. Next up, we have Steve Avery for the Braves. Steve is numbered to 19. Behind that is Lou Brock. Oh, I always liked him too. St. Louis Cardinals, that one numbered to 15. And the score is still 2-0. Okay, cool, guys. For the Giants, it is Matt Williams, and Matt is numbered to 59. Juan Gonzalez and the Rangers to 41. Scott says you got in trouble again and you can only break when you sell. I'm sorry, man. For the Blue Jays, that is Bell. That's numbered to 45. We're not laughing at Scott, for those of you who might be new, but he kind of keeps us posted on what happens at home, and sometimes the wife gets after him. So that's why some of us are chuckling on that one. Dennis Eckersley for the A's. That's a nice hit, numbered to 10. Phil Niekro, that's a fun one, to 4 for the Braves. Next we have for the A's again, that is numbered to 70. It is Mark Mulder. Then we have Ray Knight, numbered to 99. Brian Jordan. Brian Jordan is numbered to 9. That is the Braves. For the Blue Jays, it's Dave, I don't know, Steve, Staub, I don't know, to 99. You can see his name on there. I really don't remember him. I got to be honest, I don't. For the Expos, now you guys remember, this is numbered to 36. The former Montreal Expos are the current Washington Nationals. Cards do always stay with their franchise, so that will go to the Nationals. Here's the Cardinals to 25, Edgar Renteria. Billy Wagner comes out, and it is numbered to 11 for the Astros. And then Mark Langston wraps us up, numbered to 34 for the Mariners. So let's recap this real quickly. We have Langston, Mariners. The Astros hit with Billy Wagner. Edgar Renteria to 25 for the Cardinals. For the Expos, which once again will be the Washington Nationals, it's Galarraga. And we're just going to call him Dave. For the Blue Jays, Brian Jordan and the Braves. The Astros with Ray Knight. The Oakland A's with Mark Mulder. The Braves with a nice Phil Niekro to 4. Dennis Eckersley to 10 for the Oakland A's. For the Blue Jays, it's Bell. Juan Gonzalez for the Rangers. The Giants hit with Matt Williams. Here comes a nice Lou Brock for the Cardinals to 15. The Braves hit again with Steve Avery. Really, really nice 1 of 1 Darryl Strawberry coming out there for the Mets. Here's Manny for the Dodgers. And for the Mariners, we have Edgar Martinez, and that one is numbered to 12. Reggie Jackson, 1 of 1, New York Yankees. And then for the Rockies, it's Jason Giambi. You know I don't say it right, but that's okay. It's for the Rockies, and it's numbered to 14 on there. That is our first case of Archive Signature Series Retired Edition is all wrapped up. All right, let's move on down the line here. We're getting ready to go into Impeccable Basketball. For those of you who have jumped in since this was last up, please take a moment and read the information there. I'm not going to subject everybody else to reading through it again, but it does give you valuable information about shipping dates and consolation cards. So if you weren't on board when we talked about it a minute ago, I'm leaving it up to you to read it and ask questions if you have any. So this is a 3-box case of 2017-18 Impeccable Basketball. This just came out today as well. And of course, another full case break, also break number 1. And Impeccable is, well, what can we say about it? It is wicked fun always. Impeccable anything, basketball or football, is always fantastic. I am super psyched about getting into this. Of course, we did that direct break, the break we sold direct of Opulence the other day. Kind of got my appetite going for some high-end basketball. So this was good timing to have Impeccable come out right behind it there. And we're not far off from Immaculate. So Immaculate Basketball is in the offing. I don't remember exactly the date, but it's not far. And then, of course, we'll still have Flawless Basketball as well. And once we get through those last 2 releases, then we'll be all 2018-19 from that point onward. Jay Allen, you're out tonight? Okay, man. Well, we will catch you the next time then. And NK25, you're looking for Donovan Mitchell, huh? We did pull a nice Donovan Mitchell out of Opulence. That direct break we did of Opulence. We pulled out a Donovan Mitchell RPA, which was crazy good. My box doesn't seem to want to let this pack out, so we're going to go about it the hard way there to make sure that we get it out properly. Let me get a few sleeves out, and then we're going to take a look at this. Kobe, you want to see AD come out? You know, he was in Opulence too. Yeah, we had an Anthony Davis auto relic in there, as well as the Donovan Mitchell RPA. Those were probably the 2 best cards we had in that case of Opulence, and I was pretty excited to see them both. Blake, you have the Mavericks and the Bucks in here, huh? So Kyle Kuzma and the Lakers gets our embedded metal bar in here. That is numbered to 10. It's, of course, the gold. It's a half troy ounce gold bar in there. And this doesn't really fit in a sleeve. I do have a case, I believe it will fit in. A one-touch case, which I will get for it, of course, at the end of the break, because I forgot to set it on the table. But if it doesn't fit in that case, I definitely have a way to get it to you nice and safe and sound. So even though it is super, super thick, don't worry, you'll get it safely. But that was a nice way to start off our case anyway. Now, Miles Turner to 49 for the Pacers is our first base card. Kent Bazemore and the Hawks to 99, our second base. Victor Oladipo to 99 for the Pacers is a base. Yeah, Blake, that is pretty rare to come up with the gold ones. They're usually silver. The gold ones are much harder to come across than the silver. And, of course, the fact that it is Mr. Kyle Kuzma helps matters a little bit. And, of course, numbered to 10. So, yeah, that was a win all the way around to start us off tonight. All right, this is Doug Collins for the 76ers, first out autograph-wise. It is numbered to 99. The Lakers get on board with Michael Cooper, who seems to be coming out for the Lakers out of every product a lot lately. That to 99 as well. The Kings have their rookie Frank Mason. And Frank, where is his number? He's also numbered to 99. And the Kings are going to have their other rookie come out right behind that with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron is numbered to 25, so the Kings with back-to-back nice pulls. Josh Jackson and the Phoenix Suns. Final one out of box number 1 here, numbered to 25. You guys are asking me the odds on the gold versus the silver. You know, I don't remember. I thought it was 1 in like every 20 cases. I see Blake says 1 in 30, and Hugger said it's 1 in 10. I thought it was like 1 in 20, so I'm not sure, guys. It's not. I mean, it's certainly the silver is much more common to pull than the gold, without question. But I could not tell you the exact case break rarity on that. I would have said 20, but that must be wrong because neither one of you thought 20. One of you thought 30 and the other one thought 10. So anyway, I'm not entirely 100% sure on that. Yeah, Blake, it's definitely, I mean, it's unquestionably there is more silver than gold. I just couldn't tell you the exact ratio this year. I did not look at the ratio on it. Markel Fultz stainless stars. So that is numbered to 10 for the 76ers. So you guys know kind of how it goes. We can either get the metal card like that, or we can get the card that has the embedded ingot, or whatever they call those. I think they're called ingot or something like that. That can be either silver or gold. I guess I should have said that before I started. I generally just figure people that are in impeccable have probably broken it a bunch because, you know, it's so, there's never a lot of it, and I usually see the same people rolling around for impeccable. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox to 49, Draymond Green to 99 for the Warriors, Buddy Hield to 99 for the Sacramento Kings, and Bob McAdoo for the Lakers. And Bob here, where is Bob's number? Is Bob, where is he numbered? There he is, to 49. I couldn't manage to locate the signature on there for some reason. Tom Gugliotta for the T-Wolves. That is numbered to 99. Danny Green and the Spurs. That also to 99. Steve Kerr. Oh, I always love when we pull Steve Kerr as a player. For the Bulls, numbered to 25. I always, for whatever reason, I get an extra little thrill out of pulling Steve Kerr as a player. The Jazz is officially happy. You can sit back and relax now. You know, the Lakers have already been stretched out and relaxing since the first card out. Now the Jazz can join them with their feet propped up. Numbered to 99, it's Donovan Mitchell. So right now it is the Celtics that are sweating it out. The Celtics. Nick, what are you asking me about George? You said, what about George? But what are you asking me about, George? That's just little fillers in there, by the way, guys. Just all blank fillers to reach the height, you know, for the one that isn't the metal, that isn't the ingot card. Okay, we have, for the Celtics, Kyrie Irving to 99 is our stainless stars there. And here comes our final pack of Impeccable. Let's see what we can come up with. Pull our base up, and we'll start with that. Aaron Gordon to 49, Magic. Enes Kanter to 99, Knicks. Dario Saric to 99, 76ers, a redemption. We'll flip it in a minute. Tyler Dorsey and the Hawks to 99. Behind that, here come the Lakers again. Lakers are busy tonight. Gail Goodrich. Gail is numbered 299. There's a wrong sleeve in my pile there. A regular sleeve started trying to sneak in on us. Frank Ntilikina, New York Knicks to 99. Markel Fultz, the 76ers were already probably kind of happy. Now you're really happy, I imagine. There is your Markel Fultz to 99. He signed it kind of weird, though, at that strange sort of angle, but that's all good. It's all good. Now, we're going to take a look at our redemption. We will go to the Panini website and verify it and find out what it's going to be numbered to. And it is Luke Kennard, Elegance Rookie Jersey Autograph Hollow Silver. That's a mouthful. Luke Kennard should be a Detroit Piston, of course. but we will go look that up and we'll find out what he's going to be numbered to. As soon as we do that, we'll recap our hits, which I'm getting set back up here right now. But first, let's head over here to Panini and do a little investigation, find out what our redemption is going to be numbered to. And of course, we're going to verify that it is the Pistons, which, I mean, I think we all pretty well know it's going to be, but nonetheless, we like to make it official, so there's no question. We're opening another case of Impeccable tomorrow night. For those of you who might be inclined to join in again, we will be at it one more time tomorrow night with Impeccable. Elegance rookie jersey. What was the rest of that? Autographs, hollow silver. Here we go. Good grief. Except that's not card number 129. So because that says retired and I should have gone to rookie. Duh. Okay, sorry. Try it one more time. Card number 129, Luke Kennard, will be numbered to 25 for the Pistons. 25. Okay, let's bring you back to the table here with me. I got that all labeled up, and we're going to recap this. Gus, you taking off? All right, Gus. Well, we'll catch you the next time then. Thank you for joining in tonight. And NK's taking off too. Well, thanks for joining tonight, guys. So the Pistons to 25 with the Luke Kennard redemption. And then, of course, I'll find a way to safely get this to you. I think I might have a case this fits in. I just didn't remember to put it on the table. It is numbered to 10. It is Kyle Kuzma. It is a half troy ounce, and it is 14 karat gold. So the Lakers with the big booming hit right there. I know it's not an autograph, but I got to tell you, that is a really nice hit. Then, of course, our other metal cards are stainless Kyrie Irving to 99 for the Celtics. And then our Markelle Fultz here to 10 for the 76ers. Then we have Fultz to 99 for the Sixers. Nitlakina to 99 for the Knicks. To 99 for the Hawks, it's Tyler Dorsey. A nice Steve Kerr to 25 for the Bulls. Back in the day when he was a player. Danny Green and the Spurs to 99. That is the T-Wolves to 99. Bob McAdoo and the Lakers to 49. Gail Goodrich and the Lakers, that one to 99. There's our big man on campus, Mr. Donovan Mitchell to 99 for the Jazz. Josh Jackson to 25 for the Suns. De'Aaron Fox to 25 for the Kings, and Frank Mason to 99 for the Kings. Michael Cooper and the Lakers to 99, and Doug Collins and the 76ers to 99. Scott, you didn't have any luck tonight? Well, daggone it, I am sorry. Sometimes they don't break in your favor. Those nights are always more frustrating, obviously, than the nights when they're coming out right and left for you. I'm sorry we didn't have good luck for you this evening. Maybe we'll have better luck on the next one, so we can keep you out of trouble, right? We don't want you getting into trouble for having fun and breaks anyway. So here comes spreadsheet information again. Guys, I'll kind of hit the highlights of this. I know a lot of people have jumped in and out since we first talked about this. Please remember there is no mail service on Monday. That would have normally been the day I would have projected everything we're opening tonight to ship. As it is, I am projecting it for Tuesday because, well, it can't go out Monday. And I will try very hard. If I can get some of it out Saturday, I will. Short post office hours on Saturday, too, unfortunately. They don't stay open very many hours. I'll do my best, but let's plan on Tuesday, and I'm going to try really hard to get it to you faster. Because Monday is a holiday, I may print labels even Saturday night, Sunday, Monday. If you see labels printed, just understand that they're not going to be picked up until Tuesday. And of course, as always, consolation cards, if you're in the free break, typically are going to be held until your next package goes, unless you request that I do it otherwise. If you got skunked in a break where you paid for shipping, then at that point, it will ship out with the rest of the break. So that's kind of how we're looking there. So this is 2018 Flawless Collegiate Football. It is a half case break. It's break number 1. Same as everything else, it ended tonight. We're opening it tonight. It released tonight, Wednesday night, the 3rd of October. And behind that, we'll be doing Illusion. So Flawless, I'm sure you guys know, again, is a pretty quick break with just the one suitcase. Since this is the start of a new case, we will be taking both of these out. I will number them on the end, and I'll let random tell us whether we're going to open number 1 or number 2 box out of this case. Once I can extract them out of this case, that is. All right, here comes the first one. They're heavy, so it kind of does make the table shake around a little. I apologize for that. My little table here, my little workstation is not as, you know, steady as in like when you put something on it, it will bounce it around a bit. So let's head over here to random. I'm going to simply type in 1 and 2 because we don't have very many items in our list. I will hit random 3 times on this one. And the first 2 will not count. The third one will tell us which one we're going to open tonight. So here we go. Ignore the first one, ignore the second one. Here's our third and final, and you'll see there's our 3 times, our date and time stamp, and it tells us that we're going to open the box that is labeled 1. So let me get the box that is labeled to 2 out of here. And we're going to get into this one and see what we can find. Greg, you're in Illusions. Is that what you're telling me? So yeah, you're getting close. We're getting really close to getting into your break, Greg, because this is not too far. Martin says, I've been having good luck for him, so that's good. I've been his lucky charm, he says. Well, we like that. Icasa, there were some nicks that hit. They certainly did. Someone, I think, already typed that in for you there, so you did not get skunked. Martin, you're looking for Buffalo, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. And you know what I always forget to do? Like always cut the seal on the side. Like every single time I open Flawless, I will sit there and try to get it open and say, why can't I open this? And then somebody will say, did you cut the seals on the side? And then I'll say, no, I forgot. So, and then I have trouble getting in it. I do this every single time we open Flawless. I can never get in the stupid suitcase, like ever. I have the hardest time getting in the suitcases. Gosh, it kills me. Just kills me. We're finally in here. All right, thank goodness. The suitcase is stressful. Oh, man. Now I drop it. I know. This is what happens when you give me something fancy. Look what I do with it. Hugger, you need a panther in here, huh? All right, well, we'll work on a panther for you as well. All right, let's look at, I tell you what, we'll save these for last. Let's look at these first. So here's the way this works for anybody who doesn't know it. If it is a current player, it's going to go to their current team. If it is a retired player, it will go to the team that they played for the longest in the NFL, and I use NFL.com to determine that sort of thing. Bradley Roby to 5, and I don't know where that goes. I'm sure that I should, but I don't. So we may have to check that one out, or I'll just check it out after the break unless somebody wants it checked out right now, because there'll probably be a few of them I won't remember. Juju Smith-Schuster, well, I do remember him. That is numbered to 25, and that's for my Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, baby. Nick Chubb comes out. That's numbered to 25. That is the Cleveland Browns. Hugger says that he thinks Bradley Roby is the Broncos. I, for some reason, can't remember Bradley Roby, so I will, of course, verify it before it goes out the door. But nonetheless, look at this. Oh, okay. This is a 1 of 1, of course. because it is our beautiful Nike swoosh, like one of my favorite things to pull. It's Dante Pettis for the 49ers. Yeah, how about that to get things going? A one-of-one Nike swoosh for the Niners. James Washington, Pittsburgh Steelers doing well in this break. That is numbered to 25. So you already had a Juju Smith-Schuster come out, and now right behind it, you get a James Washington. And here we have, for the Patriots, how about Gronkowski, numbered to 10? Yeah, we'll take that all day long. Yes, indeed. So far, I'm a fan. That's the wrong sleeve again. So far, I'm a fan of this case. I'm not a fan of the fact that my sleeves seem to be mixed in. It must be the same ones. Like, I don't know. Every night, I think I toss over the ones that don't fit in there that get mixed in. But I don't know. But I do know that you like this Kansas City Chiefs. Pat Mahomes to 20. Only the hottest QB around these days. So wrong again. Pat Mahomes coming out to 20's nothing to sneeze at either. Oh my goodness. This to 5. It's Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers. What? Yes, it is. And you know what? I didn't think the prices tonight went very high at all for Flawless. In fact, I was really shocked at how inexpensive a lot of the Flawless spots went this evening. You get a look at it? Yeah, they shouldn't have gone as low as they did. Bet they won't go so low the next time. Rashad Penny, that's your little embedded piece of whatever, emerald, I guess. And it is numbered to 5. And of course, Rashad Penny is a Seahawk. Well. Not only did we have a Brett Favre a minute ago, here's an Aaron Rodgers, and it is numbered to 20. And you've got a little chip of, I guess that's a little diamond chip in that one, right? And it has, there's your diamond little whatever thing that goes with your Aaron Rodgers. And look who we have here. To 15, Josh Rosen on one side and Sam Darnold on the other. Yeah, see, Hugger's telling me right there, the Packers sold for less than $20, and they had a Brett Favre autograph to 5 and an Aaron Rodgers, diamond piece in there. Like, I don't know what happened tonight, why Flawless went as low as it did. I was really shocked at how low the prices were on most of the teams. Crazy. But anyway, some nights you get bargains. So Rosen and Darnold to 15. We'll have to go take a look and see if we have the same person owning the Arizona Cardinals as owns the Jets. If they do, they take it outright. If they don't, we'll have to wander over to random.org to make our decision. So the Arizona Cardinals, that is Roy Leaf, 1961. And then Mr. Sam Darnold down here for our Jets. Oh, look at that. Didn't he plan well? Yes, he did. He takes it outright. No need for random. He's just sitting back, having a drink, saying, yeah, I did. Okay, so let's recap this. Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, numbered to 15. Same person owns both teams. Congratulations to you on that. The Packers, who absolutely cleaned up tonight for their sub $20. This is numbered to 20. It is Aaron Rodgers with a diamond chip. I didn't even realize it was that low. Somebody looked it up and told me it was 19 whatever. I just knew it was low. Rashad Penny with a little emerald chip numbered to 5. That one is for the Seahawks. Taking a look at the rest of our magical case here. It is Pat Mahomes to 20 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Gronk, Patriots to 10. James Washington for the Pittsburgh Steelers to 25. That handsome Dante Pettis, 1 of 1 for the 49ers. I think that spot went pretty well tonight, too. So in terms of, like, you got a good value for your buy-in, I believe, on, well, pretty much everybody who hit tonight got a good value for their money, I think. Brett Favre to 5 for the Green Bay Packers. Nick Chubb for the Browns to 25. Juju Smith-Schuster to 25 for the Steelers. And Bradley Roby to 5. He's the one I couldn't remember, and someone said he's a Bronco. Of course, you know, I will check that out before I ship it out, but I'm sure that whoever told me that is correct. So we're going to go with Broncos there for Bradley Roby. All right, give me a second here. I want to put the other part of the flawless case, the half we didn't open tonight. I want to put that back out of harm's way here, and then we're going to start on illusions. And Illusions is a whopper. We're going to open the whole master case, 16 boxes. It's 80 hits in here, I think. Oh, all right. I have this up on the table. We'll put the spreadsheet up, and then we'll do this, of course, 8-box case at a time, because that's how it's going to be packed in there, I believe. When I open it up, should be 2 different 8-box cases inside there. And probably everyone has seen this by now, right? If you haven't, take a look up there so that you know when it is that your break is anticipated to ship and what you need to know if your team is not pulled in regard to consolation cards. So that's what the deal is. And you know, I have Impeccable Basketball down there as a paid shipping break, but I don't remember if it was or not. I think it was, though. I think Impeccable and Illusions were paid and the Archives and the Flawless were not. Once again, remember there is going to be no mail pickup or delivery on Monday because of the holiday, so that's why it's projected to go out farther out than it would normally be projected to go. And I'm going to try very hard to get it out to you sooner than that, period. Okay? So 16 boxes of 2018 Illusions football. It is a full master case, which is going to be 2 8-box enters. Like everything else, it ended tonight. It released tonight. We're opening it tonight, October the 3rd, Wednesday night. New release Wednesday. And it's been a barn burner so far. We have been cranking it out up to this point. All right, let me get these out of here. And see what we can accomplish. All right, I think what I'm going to do, we'll set one of the 8 boxes here out in front of me, and then the other 8 boxes I'm just going to set back on the floor behind me, and we'll pick it back up in a minute because there's not going to be enough room for all of this at once on this table, at least not to have any room to work as well. So let me get the master box out of the way. We'll be right back. Our other little 8-box case is just sitting down here in the floor right next to me, so we'll pick it up in a second. All right, get that back up and going. Yeah, exactly. You hit the Dante Pettis 1 of 1 Nike swoosh for a $14.50 bid. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Flawless was stupidly cheap tonight. In fact, to the point where, you know, I subsidized a large part of that break. So, yes, you're welcome. Because all the money I did, you know, I did not even come close to breaking even on Flawless tonight. Not even in the ballpark of it. So, I subsidized some nice hits for you guys, though. So, sometimes it works out that way. Oh, boy, someone is asking if I do not remember that far back specifically which teams came out in that Archive Signature Series. I think there were Dodgers. I think there were Astros. I don't remember who the players were. I don't think there were Padres, but I would not absolutely swear to that. So I don't know 100% if I did or not. And Skip Stuff is asking about the rewinding. Guys, it has to do with how the latency is set. I could not tell you the specifics. I set this up a long, long time ago, and I don't remember all the details. I can tell you it has to do with latency. And something about how if your latency set one way, you can use the DVR function. If it's set another way, you can't, and it all has to do with that. And of course, the latency has to do with buffering or the lack thereof and all that kind of stuff. But it's just been too far back for me to remember how all that was set up, to be honest with you. So, all right, so here's what we're looking at. We're going to find 2 autograph, 2 memorabilia card, and 1 rookie jersey autograph per box. And of course, this is just the boxes out of one of our 8-box cases. We'll be opening a whole other 8-box case after we look at these. I just couldn't fit it all on the table. And then we have 1 box topper. But this year, here's the deal. Our box toppers this year are guaranteed to be autographed. So we know off the bat that each one of those encased cards will be autographed. So that's a change from last year. Well, Richard, I can't post the break while we're still doing the break. I mean, we're still in the middle of the break, so I can't really upload it while we're still doing it, you know? So unfortunately, I can't post it while we're still in it. But of course, you would be able to see it later this evening. There's always going to be, the YouTube's always going to have an archived version. They have to process it and do whatever they do. Sometimes when it first shows up, I don't think it shows the first few minutes of the break, and people freak out and think they're not going to be able to see it. You will be able to see it, if not on the YouTube archive version. Of course, when I upload it, it would be there. Generally, they are uploaded the day following the break. We'll open that last. But in the meantime, you can generally see that kind of stuff on the archived version that YouTube does. Okay? Well, Richard, gosh, I'm sorry, man. The basketball break was, already completed, actually 2 breaks back. So I'm sorry about that. It's always, of course, best to come in at the start of a break and then find out what the break order is going to be. And I can always estimate, if you ask me, about what time your product's going to break. And then if you don't want to watch the other stuff in the interim, you can wander away and come back. But it's always best to start out, when the break starts, if you want to make sure that you don't miss it. So first out is Matt Ryan to 399 with a relic for the Falcons. And you're looking for some Titans mojo, huh? All right, well, we'll see what we can't manage to wander around and find for your Titans mojo. This is Living Legends. We'll find a fair amount of these inserts, I think, as we go along. And there are, of course, the acetate cards. I see we've got a rewards point card back there. That's numbered to 199 on TJ Watt. The rewards points cards replace a hit, of course, so we set them aside, and at the very end of the break, we'll give those out using random. Illusionists is another insert set, which is apparently hard for me to say. Illusionists. Why is that difficult to say? I don't know, but it kind of is. And we'll find a lot of those as we go along as well. This one is numbered to 99. And of course, here we've got 2 different teams on there. So it's going to sit over here in our housekeeping area as well, because we'll be using random to award those a little bit down the road. That's to 499 on the Dak Prescott. So this, of course, many of you probably remember Illusions from last year to 299. So this year is a little improved to 249 Jordy Nelson with some additional inserts, some more numbered things, the guarantee that the box loader or box topper, as some people call them, is autographed and all that sort of thing. So I think we're going to have some good luck in here tonight. Matching numbers again. We're just going to keep all of our 2-team cards up there in what I'm calling the housekeeping area. To 249, it's Evan Ingram and the Giants. Next up to 499, Stephen Gostkowski for the Patriots, the kicker. And like, what has been the deal with kickers this year, by the way? And it's not just limited to the Steelers, who our kicker used to be very reliable, certainly hasn't been this year, but kickers everywhere all season been missing like everything. A little Jimmy G action for the 49ers on an acetate. Anthony Miller is here. And Anthony Miller is numbered to, what, 100. Is that right? Yeah. With a nice 2-color patch and your autograph there coming out for the Chicago Bears. Another acetate. Chris Campbell, that one was. That's numbered to 499 for the Vikings. Living Legends acetate numbered to 149. That went right out of my hand. I guess it's a good thing it's an acetate, right? And that is Clay Matthews for the Packers. Antonio Brown and James Washington for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that is numbered to 25. Nice patch, especially at the top there for James Washington. Greg, there are 80 hits in this break tonight, so across our 16 boxes that we're going to be opening, so that's going to break out to 5 per box. So we've got 1, 2, 3 there. Our rewards points were number 4, and then we're going to have in each box a box topper, which is an encased card here, and this is our 5th hit in this box, and it's for my Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. Elusive Ink, numbered to 25 with Donnie Shell. That is pretty sweet, okay? If you're a Steelers fan, you're happy with that. Maybe even if you just bought the Steelers to resell it, you're probably still kind of okay with that, I think. I mean, I would be, anyway. Alicia, I don't know yet how I'm going to do the rest of it, other than I know we're going to do an 8-box case on Sunday instead of a 16 on Sunday, because I've got a lot of other stuff breaking that night as well, and because one of my distributors gave me an 8-box case instead of a 16. The one, I think some of you know I've been talking about, I've added in another distributor. Actually, I added them in several months ago by now. But it's so hard these days to get your quantities decent. So the new guy, as I like to call him, a lot of times I have to take whatever he gives me, because that's how, you know, you get the numbers up and build the relationship, then you get what you want later on. So anyway, that's all he gave me was an 8-box case, not a 16. So that's why we're breaking that as an 8-box on Sunday. So we might break another 16s at some point next week. Or I might break it up into 2 more 8s. I don't know. I'll have to see how tonight did. I didn't look at any of the numbers for this because I was so depressed after I saw how badly Flawless Collegiate did tonight that I just thought, yeah, I don't even want to look at anything else. So we'll take a look and see how the 16-box Illusions did. And, you know, if it did well, we might do it again as another 16. So we'll see how that shakes out. But the 8-box on Sunday is definitely next up. Jason, Flawless Collegiate did already break, and it was awesome. We got some really nice stuff out of that. That is numbered to 299. And it is Sony Michel on there for the Patriots on the Mystique. That's to 249, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. This is Calais Campbell to 499 for the Broncos on the Royce Freeman. That is to, I'm having a hard time reading those. That is numbered to 99. It's Rashad Penny and the Seahawks. Justin Reed comes out, Texans to 199. Who did finally get a win, right? They finally picked up their first win of the season. Getting back on track over there. Another Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan relic out of the first box. You can have another one to go along with it. Numbered to 399. Living Legend Drew Brees. That's numbered to 199 for the biscuit. Mitch Trubisky. Acting like he might be a franchise QB for a while, throwing 6 TDs in one game. Another matching numbers, which, of course, again, we'll put up here in our housekeeping area to be dealt with at the end of the break. To 249, that was Corey Davis. To 499, it's Derek Carr. Raiders also picked up their first win over the weekend. James Washington, Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is numbered to 399. Very nice indeed. And what did you say there, Skip Stuff? You said that you think, did Panini finally realize that they're charging too much for Flawless? No, they're not going to be changing the Flawless pricing or anything else, because the hits in Flawless, you know, you're going to make your money back. You get the good hit of the high value rookie, you're going to make your money back and more. Like anything else, it just depends on who you pull. But no, they're not going to change the pricing of Flawless. If anything, it goes up every year. It certainly doesn't go down. And they know those things are for breaks. I mean, not too many people are probably out buying, you know, $1,200 and $1,500 boxes of cards to open themselves. Numbered to 199, it's Nick Chubb for the Browns. So they know when they design it how it's going to shake out. You know, it's just how it is. And most of the time, Flawless is not a problem. I mean, Flawless usually you don't have any problems with. That is numbered to 499. I think just tonight there were a lot of new releases, and somehow that Flawless Collegiate, I think, just got lost amongst everything else. But it went really just unbelievably low. I've never seen a Flawless break. Some of those spots that sold as low as these did tonight. I mean, it was crazy. But at least somebody got bargains for it, right? Leighton Vander Esch, that is to 199 for the Dallas Cowboys. Once again, of course, the change this year, our encased autographs are always, which are our box toppers in each box, or actually they're on the bottom of the box, so I guess I shouldn't be calling them box toppers, our box loaders. All of them are autographed this year. That was one of the changes, guaranteed to be autographed. Edward, change of addresses are not good. Because it depends on my poor feeble mind. For one thing, I typically, guys, print the labels directly from eBay. Then I don't have to worry about typos. I don't have to worry about it being sent to the wrong address, anything like that. It just normally goes right to what's on eBay. If you have entered the wrong address on eBay, then what happens is you rely on my very faulty memory to go in there and manually change it and get it out that way, which if I were shipping it the next day, I would probably remember. But oftentimes these breaks are not shipping for 3-4 days after the fact, and I've seen a lot of stuff in between. But what you need to do is, I'm assuming it's not anything that can be that is, you know, set up to be mail forwarded or that sort of thing. So then you just need to send me a message, and we will have to sort it out. Definitely don't plan on me remembering it from just telling me here in chat. Definitely don't do that. For sure, send me a message. For sure, for sure. Well, right, but skip stuff again. Here's the deal. You're never, first of all, they're never going to have in there the exact value of the box, because then they wouldn't make any money, right? Okay, so if they had $1,200 worth of hits in a box that they charged you $1,200 for, then they're not going to make any money. So that's the first part you have to remember. The second part that you have to remember is nobody paid $1,200 for that box except for me. So you guys all buying in at $10, $20, $30 or $50 or whatever you bought in for, just about any hit's going to get you out. That's numbered to 99. It's Jameis Winston. So it's not like you're talking about a person who's going to be buying a bunch of those to open themselves at $1,200 a crack. That's to $4.99 with Kerryon Johnson. So, you know, you can't really exactly look at it specifically like that. And I actually think I have more than 1,200 in it anyway, because all of my lovely distributors charge me credit card fees and all kinds of other happy stuff. So we don't ever come in it the way we want to come in it anyway. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, Edward, you're going to need to just, as I said, don't rely on me. Please do not rely on me to remember it from right now when I'm in the middle of this break. What I need you to do is to please send me a message on eBay and let me know what address you want to have on there. And then I will, at that point, take care of it from there. But definitely do not, please do not rely on me to remember it and know it from this conversation that we're having right now. So that is numbered to 49. It's Jamon Moore and Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the Green Bay Packers. And then, and I would not, Edward, I also would not wait and message me on Monday, because what happens if I then get the break out sooner than Monday? Then I've sent it to the wrong place. So just go in there tonight and send me a message for it, and we'll go from there. That is to $199. That's DJ Moore and the Panthers. And just in general, guys, it's always, of course, a good idea to double check and make sure that you have the correct shipping address before you check out. That one is numbered to 249. I had someone once who did not tell me their shipping address had changed until after their package had been delivered to the old address. And then they said, oh yeah, I haven't lived there for 5 years. Well, okay, like I didn't know that. And now that the package is delivered, I have no way to get it back. So that kind of thing can be unfortunate, but you let me know ahead of time and I will figure out how to make it work. That is numbered to 499. It is Ito Smith for the Falcons. Oh, yeah, for sure. You can change eBay without changing PayPal. Absolutely, Greg. You can change one independent of the other. So you could change PayPal without changing eBay. You can change eBay without changing PayPal. I am only going to see what eBay has. So I would never see what the PayPal is unless for some reason it was a direct break or something like that where it didn't sell through eBay. Then I would print a label through PayPal. But otherwise, the labels are always going to be printed through eBay because that's where the purchase took place. So that's what I rely on to have the correct information. To 199, it's Mitch Trubisky for the Bears. Chicago Bears, baby. Living Legends Matt Stafford. I don't know if he's looked real legendary lately, but maybe. Oh, yeah, definitely, Greg. You can change it on eBay. That is Mike Gesicki to $4.99. You can change it every single time you check out on eBay if you wanted to. Literally right before you finalize the payment, it gives you an option to $4.99 to choose the address. So you could change it, you know, every day if you wanted, or if you were buying it to have it sent somewhere else, all that kind of stuff. You can definitely do all of that when it goes out. And this is nice. How about that? That is Dan Hampton and Mike Singletary, team tandems for the Chicago Bears. I really like that hit. That's really very cool. So if you have the Bears, nice pair of throwback SIGs there on that box loader. I like it. I like it. Oh yeah, Sean, we did Impeccable a long way back. Impeccable was our second break tonight, so it was probably finished up by, what, 9:45, guys? Something like that. It may be, yeah, probably around 9:45, thereabouts, we did Impeccable. So it's been a little bit back. No Lonzo Ball. No, there was not. So far, I like Illusions this year a little better, I think, than... I mean, I liked it last year, too. They're nice-looking cards. Usually the hits are pretty decent, but I do definitely like the fact that our encased cards always autographed this year. And in general, I think, you know, I like the acetates. A lot of numbered cards. Yeah, I think I'm a fan of the reconfiguration. Edward, I know, right? That Bears hit was like crazy good. Well, if you're a Bears fan. I guess if you're not a Bears fan, you don't care. But if you are a Bears fan, I mean, 85 Bears are probably some of your favorite Bears, right? I would think. And another that's going to go up here into our little housekeeping area. So we won't be doing those a card at a time. I can tell you that right off. To $2.49. We'll kind of do them as a group. We'll do like right side of the card, left side of the card kind of scenario. And do it like that so it won't take us forever. Sam Darnold numbered to 299 Mystique Acetate. Here comes Mark Walton and the Bengals. Look at that patch. I love that. I love that patch. And that's numbered to 100, but that's probably the best looking Bengals patch I've seen in months. And we've pulled cards way lower than 100 that didn't have patches that were that nice, in my opinion, anyway. Oh, yeah, the Super Bowl Shuffle. Gosh, I had forgotten about that. I'll have to go back and find that watch that again on YouTube. That is numbered to 299. It's Terrell Suggs, who smashed up my Steelers over the weekend. To $4.99, Malcolm Jennings. Nothing like getting your butt kicked on Monday Night Football on national television, right? This is numbered to $499 for Evan Ingram and the Giants. Did any of you watch, you know that little thing they produce on Bleacher Report called Game of Zones? Do any of you all watch that? It's to $199, Greg Olson and the Panthers. Because the one this week is like hilarious. If you haven't seen it yet, you should check it out. It's really very funny. Of course, I like those Game of Zones anyway. I think they do a really good job with them. This one is numbered to 99, Jalen Samuels and the Steelers. One of our lower numbered so far. You said better than your Bills. Listen, man. You guys, they've just got to get some help for Josh Allen, okay? He's going to be okay if they can keep him upright, and they need some help so that he can not be sacked, say, 7 times in a game. I mean, I think the kid probably has what it takes, but he's got to have a little help. Man, that's crazy. Crazy, crazy. This is Naheem Hines, and it is to $499 for the Colts. Oh, I see another reward point, which means another one of our hits got replaced. So now we have 2 up there in our housekeeping area. Our TBD stuff now consists of 2 rewards points. The Ravens, hate to say it, but the Ravens look really good this year. And I hate to say it because they're division rivals and they spanked us real bad on Monday night. But they look good this year. That is Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson, numbered to 100. Edward, you said practice squad receivers and O-line. I tell you what, man, that's how I kind of feel about the defense for the Steelers right now. I feel like I don't even know if we've got practice squad. I think we went down to the high school team. Like, you know, I don't know what's happened. I mean, ever since Ryan Shazier went out, our defense just fell apart. Cortland Sutton for the Broncos, numbered to 100, is our box loader here. So we are halfway through our first 8-box case. So that means we're a fourth of the way through the whole shebang, but halfway through the first 8 boxes. So I told you guys, I warned you all week that this would be a long one, but I think it's worth it to have a shot here with 80 hits and a lot of good stuff coming out of this. You said he has to get rid of the ball quicker. Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's got to get, I mean, I don't know what anybody's doing this year. The NFL just is weird this year. There's nobody playing defense, I guess, mostly because of the way the rules are written about the tackling and leading with the helmet, and can't even look at the quarterback without drawing a flag and all that. But it's just kind of turned into, like, I don't know, a basketball game. It's like, who can get the most points without playing any defense? I don't know. It's just not, it's odd all the way around. But there's a lot of weird NFL stuff. Like I said about the kickers, it's not just my kicker for the Steelers who has suddenly gone off the rails. I mean, Chris Boswell was one of the most reliable kickers in the NFL for ages. And then all of a sudden this year, I mean, the kid could be a yard away and miss it. Like, what is happening? That is Earl Thomas, numbered to 25 on that one. And he's not the only one. I mean, kickers everywhere, all over the league, are just getting let go and, just missing right and left. And it's just a mess. Just a mess. So basically, every time we see these blue ones, you know they're going to be to 249. Every time we see the gold one, we know it's going to be to 499. So rather than reading that out for about 600 times throughout this 16-box case, I'm just going to, remind you of it. And then when you see it, you'll know. We won't read it out every single time. Numbered to 99, it's Kalen Ballage and the Dolphins. You know what? I don't know, because here's the thing about Nick Bosa, who is Joey's little brother. He got hurt, right? So he's out. He had a core injury, a core muscle injury, and I don't know when he's going to be back. So he's really good, but you have to take into consideration how's that going to play out. That's numbered to 50, Kerryon Johnson and the Detroit Lions. That's a nice 3-color patch, low number hit. And I got to tell you, Kerryon's been playing well. So he's going to be a little bit of a sleeper. And you know who else is a sleeper, but not really, because we've been talking about him all year, is Kiki over there for the Texans, starting to show out a little bit. This is numbered to 75, Anthony Miller and the Bears. Yes, he has already had surgery for that injury for sure. And he might possibly be back by the end of the year, but I would be surprised. And those core muscle injuries I have found seem to be the harder to recover from than you would think. I mean, Bud Dupree had that with the Steelers, and even when he came back, he didn't come back quite right, and it's been a whole process. That is numbered to 15. It's Kyle Lauletta and Eli Manning for the Giants. And I don't think Bud came back exactly the same player either, just by the way. So for what that's worth. So he's never been quite back exactly the same, I don't think, since that happened. So you have to wonder, is that going to be the case with Bosa as well or not? I don't know. I do not know the answer to that. Mason Rudolph and James Washington. That is numbered to 25 for my Pittsburgh Steelers. And Le'Veon, man, what is that mess? Now that guy's saying he wants to come back in the bye week 7, and da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. I am so sick of him. And he was my favorite player on the Steelers for years and years. I just want him to go away. He's on my nerves now. Tyler Conklin, that is numbered to 50. But my UPS driver, his name is Rico, and I love Rico. Rico is like the coolest guy ever. My favorite UPS driver that I've had in years and years. Rico is also a Steelers fan. So every time he delivers, we get in these big debates about what's going on with our Pittsburgh Steelers. He said the same thing I said today, was they should just tell Le'Veon Bell not to even come back. Just go on and go stay down there on your jet ski. This is numbered to 49. It's for the Colts, and it is Doris Fountain. Edward, I don't know. I don't know who... I don't really have a good feel for the offensive side of the ball. I mean, right now, from what everybody's saying, it's not a super strong quarterback class. You know, certainly nothing like it was this year. So I don't know on the offensive side of the ball. I don't keep up that much with a lot of the linemen. So I don't know on the O-line who is looking particularly good at the moment. But, you know, that'll come into focus more as we get closer to the bowl games and some of that stuff. We get more into November and December. Some of that will start coming into a little more focus, I think. Of course, you know, I'm just hoping that my little Benny Snell here for the UK Wildcats actually gets a little Heisman consideration. I mean, they're talking about him a little in that breath, and somebody did an interesting comparison this week of his stats to Derrick Henry's stats the year that he won the Heisman, and he's right there with him. I mean, Benny's stats are matched up just right, almost identical to the stats Derrick Henry had his Heisman year. But of course, you know, it's a hard road to hoe to get them to give a Heisman to a running back. It doesn't happen very often. They like to give it to those gunslingers, and they're kind of stingy when it comes to anybody else where the Heisman is concerned. But I do think that he should at least be in the picture for it. You know, he should at least be in the discussion about it with the kind of year he's having, provided that he keeps having that kind of year. I don't imagine they'll give it to him, but he should at least be in the discussion. To $3.99, it's Adam Thielen for the Vikings. But I do think that we will have, gosh, I don't know. We'll have probably 4 or 5 guys go in, maybe 6 guys go in the draft. Josh Allen is a good edge rusher for us. He should go first round. I don't know if he will or not because he plays for Kentucky, but he should. Number to 199, that's Tyquan Lewis and the Colts. But if you haven't watched Josh Allen play this year, check him out because he is arguably the #1 edge rusher in college football this year. So, have I seen any Tremaine Edmonds? I have definitely seen him, but I don't know about Out of Illusions. Of course, this just came out today, so this is my first crack into Illusions as well. But what did we most recently open? Anybody? Greg, you'll remember. What football product did we just, XR? Was it XR? Whatever we just opened recently, a bunch of, we found both the Edmonds in it, Terrell and Tremaine. Tremaine for the Bills, of course, and Terrell for the Steelers. So they were in both. I believe it was in XR that we found them both. James Washington, Pittsburgh Steelers, numbered to 399. But I don't have a good feel yet. Have to open a little bit more Illusions to kind of start to get a feel for who we're going to see pattern-wise, you know, like who shows up more than others. Oh, yeah, Edward, for sure. I'm talking about their autographs. I think it was in XR where we had found both Terrell and Tremaine Edmonds autos. That's numbered to 199. It's a Dak Prescott relic for the Cowboys. That is right, isn't it, Greg? I know you typed in XR, and thank you. Yes, that was the product I was trying to think of. But that is the product where we found the Edmonds boys, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. Because we found them more than once, the best I recall. Jair Alexander out for the Green Bay Packers, numbered to 50. Yeah, there has been a lot of Steelers come out tonight. I agree with that. So far, we have seen a fair amount of Steelers, and we've seen decent amount of Cowboys. I'm thinking in terms of like everything all together. Relics, inserts, the whole shebang. Steelers, Cowboys, you know, the usual suspects, I guess, to a certain extent. All right, we got to get some of this so I feel like I got some space to work in. I tell you, it takes up all my space, makes me crazy. Deathstalker, I don't know about that. Have we hit any Panthers that anybody remembers as an autograph or a relic? I don't really remember any Deathstalker, but I could not say that with 100% certainty. But I don't necessarily remember any. Myles Garrett to 299. Clear shots, acetate. Edward says no, so Edward's got you hooked up there. Thank you, Edward. Oftentimes you all are able to remember better than I am about what we've seen in the cards. I don't retain it very long. James, we have not hit any Saquon Barkley yet. Saquon Barkley, no. Kalen Ballage, that is numbered to 499. Yeah, Greg, we had a Jamon Moore on that. It was a dual card, Jamon Moore and somebody else. So we have had the J. The J has made his appearance tonight. The single letter autograph. Oh, yeah, I don't know if there were any Saquon Barkley base cards or numbered inserts. That I don't know. I was talking strictly, James, strictly relics and autographs. We have not yet hit Barkley. But this is only the 8-box case. So there's still, once we finish this, there's still yet another 8-box case to go. This is only the first one. And we still got another little bit of this before it's finished anyway. But we have a redemption, our first of the night coming up. Surprisingly, look how far we got without without a redemption. We got pretty good little ways in without finding one tonight. That always makes me happy if we can get that far. That is numbered to 99 acetate for the Panthers, Luke Kuechly. Vita Vea, my man Vita Vea, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, numbered to 199. Another one that we've got to put, you know, I was putting all of these in a sleeve because I was thinking I was going to write on them, but I don't think we're going to do them individually anyway, so I think we'll just start stacking them up there and we'll do them as a group when it comes time to do random. That was to 75 on that Dalvin Cook. To 249, of course, are our blue. To 499 are our gold, just as a reminder. And there's a Chandler Jones insert. I keep wanting to think the inserts are numbered. I keep trying to stack them over there in the pile of numbered things, but they're not numbered. Calvin Ridley makes an appearance for the Falcons with a really nice patch, numbered to 25. First impressions, Calvin Ridley. All right, our box loader here is, look at that, another Steeler, crazy. Mason Rudolph comes out on that one. It is numbered to 75. And the Steelers are just cranking it tonight. At least in this 8-box half of it. We don't know what we're going to find in the other 8-box half. Hey, Toby. You just now jumping in, huh? Yeah, we're in the This is the end of the first 8-box case of Illusions. So we've still got the other half of the Illusions break to do after we look at this box. So we've got another, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 minutes or so before we'll be wrapped up for the night. I don't know how long this 8 boxes took us. I don't feel like it took us a terribly long time, but I don't know. Maybe it did. It doesn't seem like it, though. You figured you would give the Steelers some more luck. Yeah, well, they have come out of here a bit tonight. Mike Gesicki and the Dolphins, that is numbered to 499. And that is to 299 with Eric Berry. Falcons have had a few nice hits around this evening, too. Here's Kurt Benkert, and that one is numbered to 25. He's still on the roster, right? Did they move him to the practice squad, or is he still active roster? Rashad Penny and Dante Pettis. And that is really nice. It's numbered to 5, and it will also end up going to random unless the same person owns both teams. So we're going to set it in our housekeeping area up there at the top as well. We've got lots and lots and lots of housekeeping tasks after the break finishes up tonight. It will keep us busy for a while. Mason Rudolph is a rookie. He is the rookie quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers that they signed this year. That's numbered to 99, Nick Chubb. So, indeed, he is to 199. He is a rookie. This numbered to 149. Frank Gore to 249. And then onward we go. Another dual team. Here comes the, as Greg calls it, the J autograph. Here comes Jamon Moore with his stupid autograph that we don't like. Number to 499. I shouldn't call it stupid. It's not nice to call things stupid, but I do not like his autograph. I'm not a fan of it. Just that J. That's it. Silly little J to 499. And we have a box loader to look at. And it's a Charger. And it's a nice Charger, Derwin James to 100. He's going to be very good for the Chargers. So I like that hit for LA. Before I get this next 8-box case up on the table, I need to rearrange a couple of things over here so that I've got some room to stack these cards as they come out. So bear with me for a moment while I just do a quick little rearranging to create some extra space here. I think we'll just set these guys up there. That'll help out a little bit too. Now, let's get our next 8-box case rolling along. And so I found out today as well that all the stuff, you remember I told you I thought on Wednesday that we were going to have a crazy amount of stuff coming out? Yeah, all that apparently got moved, and I had not seen that they had an update to the release calendar. So Topps triple threads and, oh, there was something else, Topps, that was supposed to come out. Both of those got moved, and the Panini release got moved to Friday of next week. So we're actually not going to have any new releases next Wednesday, a week from today, but we will have a couple of them next Friday, so like 10 days from today. So that does give us a little bit of extra time to break through a lot of this stuff that came out this week, and then of course we still got Bowman Chrome and other stuff like that too. So we kind of need having a few extra days before the next round presents itself, because there's a lot of stuff on hand right now, and most of it you know, it takes a while to break. So it takes us a while to get through long breaks like this. And as you might imagine, it takes a long while to sort them too. So, Greg, this, what is next Friday? It is, oh brother, what is it? I could have told you a second ago. Gold label baseball for Topps. And what is the Panini release? I knew it a second ago when I was telling you it moved, and now that you asked me, it went right out of my head. So what does that tell you about my brain? Probably that it's not in good working order tonight, huh? Gosh, I can't think of it. It's gone right out of my head. Give me a minute. It'll come to me. As soon as I stop thinking about it, it'll probably come to me. But it was supposed to be Wednesday. They moved it to Friday. Let me think. What is it? Oh, that's going to bug me. I know it's Topps Gold Label Baseball and Panini something that I was expecting to come Wednesday. Not Triple Threads, no. Triple Threads got moved. That's Topps. That got moved to the 31st, I think. It's a Panini release that I'm trying to think of right now. Gold Label is the Topps release. I can't think of what the Panini release is, though. It's gone out of my head, and I can't even remember what sport it is. I'm like sitting here going, what the heck is it? I don't know. I can't think of it, Greg. I don't know. I literally cannot think of it. I couldn't even tell you what sport it is. I can't. It's not coming to me right now, unfortunately. So I cannot adequately answer that, sadly. That's to 99. I just know that it got moved because we had that conversation today because he said, oh, this and this and this and this got moved. And I didn't retain it all, obviously. Some of it's written down, but don't know at the moment anyway. All right, Patriots. We're trying to get some Patriots going. Jesse's looking for some Patriots. All right, Jesse. Let's try and get you some New England Patriots. This is numbered to 175, and it is Terrell Edmonds, or Terrell. He says Terrell Edmonds. I always want to say Terrell. So not quite the Edmonds that you're looking for, but anyway, we're trying to find him for you. Oh, Ed's got some love for the Patriots tonight, too. So Ed and Jesse both working the mojo for the Patriots. That's to 75. It's DJ Moore and the Panthers. Ellen's looking for Tom Brady. That is definitely shooting for the stars, but why not? We might be able to conjure one. Tom Brady is in Flawless Collegiate, by the way. That is numbered to 25. First impressions, Nick Chubb with a very nice relic there. Yeah, there's all those guys in your big name players like we saw tonight with the Brett Favre and, you know, Aaron Rodgers. All those kind of guys are in Flawless Collegiate too. And Tom Brady among them. I see a redemption coming. So it's going to be added to our housekeeping pile back here in the way back. Our pile's getting quite large up there of things that we're going to be addressing at the end of the break. Another one of our dual team cards. That's the $2.99. Jaleel Scott and the Ravens. So what I'm thinking, this is numbered to $4.99. What I'm thinking on all those dual cards that are up there in the corner that we're working on is anything that we have duplicates of, I'll just send one to one team and one to the other team. And then if we don't have duplicates or we have an odd number of them or something, then we'll sort those out separately. Carry-On Johnson, that is numbered to 49. Got a little red ink action there for the Detroit Lions for our encased card out of that box. Go big or go home. You are right about that. You gotta always gotta hope for the big hits, for sure. And you know what? We've been on a pretty good run lately. We've hit some really nice things in general out of breaks recently. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, we pulled the Tom Brady autographed jersey out of some Leaf autographed football jerseys not too awfully long ago. And we pulled a Tom Brady autograph out of something recently too, didn't we? Pretty sure we did. But I can't even think what it was now. It's been a while back. But back shortly after they announced that he was back live in the products, I want to say we pulled one out of there. Jesse, I don't know about the base for the Patriots. I have to admit, guys, I don't pay much attention to the player or the team that's on the base when it goes through in the break. I don't really look at that too much unless it's numbered, you know. You said the equipment manager. Oh gosh, are you kidding about that? You said that you heard the equipment manager got a 10-foot bong for Josh Gordon to help him pregame. That's got to be like a joke, right? I don't know. And Gronkowski, of course, is hurt. He did get hurt in the last game, and I think he's questionable for this weekend. I think he hurt his ankle, right? Was the deal? And Bradley Chubb here to 199 for the Broncos. You said, Jesse, you don't ever see Gronkowski autographs because he's eating Tide Pods. But we just had a Gronkowski autograph out of Flawless Collegiate. It was numbered to 10. So he must have gotten tired of eating his Tide Pods and managed to sign a few things that day anyway. This is first impressions to 100 for the Colts. Naheem Hines. Sorry, I just heard something behind me, and I was trying to figure out who was doing what back there. I don't know. Sometimes you hear strange goings-on when you're doing the break because everybody knows, right? Like, I can't do anything about it unless it gets real bad. That's numbered to 299. So that's always the time to get into things. Another rewards point that replaced one of our hits. So now several of those, 3 I think, that we'll be giving out at the end of the break. Each of them so far numbered to 150. Ito Smith is to 99 on the green parallel. That's to 499 on the gold. And Kalen Ballage again. Had several Dolphins tonight, it seems like. And that is to 449. Ellen, you said you see Gronkowski autographs a lot. I don't see a ton of them. I mean, I see them here and there, but I don't see them like what I would call a lot myself, out of my breaks anyway. That's numbered to 50. It is Anthony Miller and the Bears. But you do tend to find those guys more easily in the high-end products like Flawless and National Treasures, Impeccable, Immaculate. I mean, all of the high-end products, of course, it's easier to pull the high-end signers than it is out of a product like this. Sure, they're in a product like this as well, which this isn't a low-end product, but it's, you know, not a $1,200 a box product either. So it depends, I guess, on what kind of breaks you watch, right? So if you watch a lot of high-end breaks, you're definitely going to see them come out a lot more often. Oh, Jesse, it was the 10-10 Brady out of Certified. Okay, there you go. Yeah, see, I know, like, I vaguely remember pulling things, and then I often can't remember, like, what anything is or where it's come from. Because I see a lot of cards. in addition to all these cards that we're seeing tonight when we break, I sorted 3 breaks today. So I saw all of those thousands of cards earlier and all of these thousands of cards right now. Ellen, you said you keep getting Ryan Griffin jerseys. Well, you know, sometimes we do get things that maybe we're kind of a little bit like, yeah, I don't know if I want that. But numbered to 299, Illusionist. That's numbered to 249 for Cortland Sutton and the Broncos. Which, what are they going to do? That Baker Mayfield was to 499. What are they going to do about Case Keenum? Because I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he looks like Case Keenum of old, not like Case Keenum who came in and led the Vikings to the playoffs. You know, there's that kind of him and Nick Foles and some of those kind of guys. I've said this. I said it when Nick Foles took over for the Eagles. You don't ever know which Nick Foles you're going to get. And so last year you had postseason hero Nick Foles. He plays some early games this year. He's back to journeyman Nick Foles. Right now, I think they have journeyman Case Keenum, not franchise quarterback Case Keenum. That is numbered to 25. It's Kiki for the Texans. So what are they going to do about that? Because there's a lot of money tied up in that, and you did not take a quarterback in a quarterback-heavy draft in your John Elway, and you haven't been able to get the quarterback situation resolved in all those years. I don't know, man. I think John Elway, you got to kind of like, that's the 499, Kyle Lauletta. I don't know. When I don't know if does John Elway get out of that, man? Does he? Anybody else wouldn't. If it was anybody besides John Elway, you would not get by with signing a journeyman quarterback to that kind of contract and then have him play like he's playing. That's to 100. And it's for the Jags. At least not when you're on, like, what, your 5th try at getting a quarterback? I mean, I don't know. I think Elway's the problem. Numbered to 50, it is Cortland Sutton and the Broncos. You said you had a jersey last night. Your husband rolled his eyes and said, no, not a Griffin. Edward, you asked me, what did you say there? Who do you appraise the cards in? You mean who should you get to grade them? Is that what you mean? On the newer stuff, you can really go with either one, Beckett or PSA DNA. But Beckett has been really backed up and slow for probably the better part of a year now. So for that reason, I would tend to go with PSA if you were in a hurry to get it back. Otherwise, either one of them would do. Stephon Diggs, that is numbered to 5 for the Minnesota Vikings. And by the way, I love the commercial with Stephon Diggs where everything sticks to his hands. I don't remember what it's for, which is bad. Means they've done, like if I can't remember the product, means they probably didn't do a great job with the commercial. But I can't remember the product, but I do remember everything sticking to Stephon Diggs' hands. And it's a cute commercial. Maybe insurance. Is it insurance? Maybe. Well, Deathstalker, I mean, these days Beckett and PSA or PSA DNA are about the same price, and PSA is turning things around faster. I mean, they're still behind, I think, but PSA is maybe running like a week behind. Beckett was at one point, people had been waiting, earlier this year, people had been waiting 9 months plus for their cards that should have been turned around in a couple of weeks. I'm sure they've caught up some since then, But price-wise, they're very similar these days, especially if you join the club. PSA has a club, and with it, you get 15 grading certificates, and then you get bulk pricing if you want to send in stuff that way, and then they do grading specials and all that. So mainly because of the turnaround time, I would go with PSA these days. For modern stuff. If it's older stuff, I think you always want to go with PSA. I don't like Beckett for grading older cards at all. Only modern stuff for Beckett. And even so, I have a tendency, personally, I guess it depends on, obviously, your goal. And maybe this is why people like Beckett better. I think they grade a little loosely. So I think maybe you get a little bit higher grade with Beckett. Maybe. But I also don't think it's always a deserved grade. Does that make sense? So I think you get a truer, more authentic assessment from PSA as well. That's to 100. It's Ronald Jones for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, you mean resale money wise. I got you. Well, and the major rad player is saying the higher end cards PSA charges more. Yeah, they probably do, but they also, there's a reason. I mean, if it's a high end card, vintage especially, you're going to get more money for a PSA graded card than you would for a Beckett graded card for any vintage card. Modern era cards, they're both very similar. So I guess if you don't care about how much time it takes, then Beckett's fine. That's numbered to 100, Flacco and Lamar Jackson. But again, that's the assumption that we're talking modern era cards, not vintage. Anything vintage, I would not send to Beckett. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, lots of people do send them there, but I would not. So there you go. Deathstalker, you said you have 50 cards for Beckett. You don't, no way PSA grades way too low. I don't think so. I think the opposite. I think that PSA gives a harder grading than Beckett. I think Beckett gives you an easier grade. So that's how I feel about it. That's numbered to 99. It's Kyle Lauletta. I think you could, in some cases, you could take cards that Beckett has graded one way, send it to PSA, and maybe even be a point different. But I don't know. Everybody's got their favorite, you know. I mean, they're both gonna do the job. So I would just at this point look at it, speed and money, I guess, would be your two factors. That's to 100, Dante Pettis and the 49ers. Because you said modern card, I think. So yeah, not a huge difference really in either one there. But vintage, definitely don't send vintage to Beckett. Well, Greg, that's what I'm saying. So Greg's saying PSA will grade lower. That's what I'm saying. I think Beckett gives out easier grading. So that's my point exactly. That Beckett might grade something to a 9.5 that might grade to a 9 at PSA. So if you want a higher grade, you're probably going to get a higher grade from Beckett, but I don't also necessarily think it's a totally always true grade. So that was kind of the point that I'm making. I think Beckett grades more loosely. In other words, it's easier to get a higher grade from them. PSA grades harder, and that's why sometimes the PSA graded cards, especially the vintage stuff, sell for more than the Beckett cards do. The Major Rad, you have the exact opposite opinion, huh? You think that you get more, well, you're saying you get more money from a Beckett card than a PSA card of the same number. Are you talking vintage or are you talking modern? Because I mean, that's like the exact opposite of my experience for anything that is vintage. I think PSA is 1,000 times better than Beckett. So that's interesting because that has not been my experience, but maybe we've just got different kind of things going on there. I don't know. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. That is numbered to 100. Josh Allen, I think, is, still going to be fine. Again, they just got to keep the kid upright. They've got to get him a little help, and he's hopefully going to be okay in the long run. Hey, didn't somebody ask for Tremaine Edmonds a minute ago? I think so. Well, how about that? That is numbered to 199. We pulled Terrell Edmonds earlier. Here's his brother Tremaine right behind him, and it was back-to-back hits for the Buffalo Bills to make somebody happy. Odell Beckham Jr. is making an appearance here for the Giants. That is a nice patch numbered to 25 for OBJ. Tristan, you are asking about Impeccable. Well, of course, we're still in the break, so I can't do anything about posting it while we're still in the middle of it. What I can tell you is this: same info basically that is there in the description, and in the fact that it will be sometime tomorrow, within 24 hours of the time the auction ends. I will get it posted. In the meantime, there will be a YouTube archived version of the break, and that will be available sometime in the overnight hours. I have been told by people in the past that sometimes when there are long breaks, like it's been tonight, that the break doesn't always start right at the beginning, or sometimes it'll start in the middle and then you'll go back and watch it later. That's numbered to 25, Jaleel Scott for the Ravens. And then it will start at the beginning because YouTube's still processing it or something. I don't know. I can tell you that there is a YouTube archive version. It will show up first, and then I will upload the break tomorrow at some point. The only difference between the two is when I upload it, I add the tags and titles. Otherwise, it's the same. And we have here a Titan, a Tennessee Titan making an appearance. Harold Landry to 100 for the Titans. Oh, Edward, right. See, we made you happy there, didn't we? We got your Edmonds, you got a Josh Allen, kind of all the way around. That got you perked up a little bit, didn't it? Just a little bit, maybe. I opened that first out of this one. And look who it is, Jamon Moore. What a shock. Numbered to 150. I swear to you, that kid must have just locked himself in a room and signed 4,000 stickers, all at one time. I mean, he had to. He's in every single product. Every product you pull Jamon Moore. A lot of times you pull him multiple times in the same product. I mean, like almost to the level where it's absurd. There are so many more of him than anybody else, I think. For a while, Kalen Ballage was kind of keeping pace with him for the Dolphins. And then, somewhere along the way, Kalen dropped off. He still shows up, and he still shows up sometimes multiple times. But somewhere along the way, Jamon Moore outpaced him. He's just, I don't know. Yeah, Greg's like he signed for weeks. Here's the thing, though. I don't think it would have taken him weeks because he just signs the one letter. So dude probably just sat there for like 10 hours and walked out with a couple $100,000, and there you go. That's to $4.99. He had to have been lower on the pay scale, because, you know, he wouldn't have signed so many probably if he'd been higher on the pay scale. Odell Beckham Jr. comes out again. It is numbered to 100, New York Giants. Our other one, what is that? Piece of the wrapper, I guess. Like, something kind of unexpected there. I wasn't sure what had grabbed hold of me. Piece of the wrapper along for the ride. Isaiah Oliver. Falcons have kind of quietly had a good break. They've had some nice little hits show up along the way. That is to 25. They've got the Isaiah Oliver. They have a Kurt Benkert. I think they have Ito in here. Don't think we had a Calvin Ridley autograph, did we? Maybe it was a Calvin Ridley relic or something. But they've kind of quietly had a good break. Oh, Edward, you've got the Steelers too? Then, yeah, you have knocked it out of the park. That's to $4.99, James Washington. Yeah, you absolutely knocked it out of the park with the Steelers and the Bills. Numbered to 25, it's Aaron Rodgers. That's our lowest numbered so far. With Mr. Aaron Rodgers leading the way for the Packers. That's to $1.99 on the red. To $4.99 for our gold. Another two-teamer up there. Bradley Chubb for the Broncos. And that's a nice patch. Numbered to 50. Not as many Broncos in this one, huh? I mean, still a good number of them, but in XR, I'm sure most everyone noticed, there were massive quantities of the Broncos in XR. Like, tremendous numbers of them. The Major Rad player, you said you sold a Griffey 1989 Upper Deck BGS 10 that sold more than the PSA 10 sold for. Yeah, well, I mean, so I guess then there you go, guys. For modern stuff, then if you don't mind the weight, then you can go Beckett. It sounds like that's the direction that the Major Rad is giving you in Death Stalker. So go forth with BGS, my friends. Greg says the Giants have been terrible to watch. This goes back to what I was telling you on Bleacher Report. Go watch the new episode of Game of Zones. It's just a quick little animated thing that they produce, and it's it's always taking shots at various things in the NFL, but part of it has to do with Eli Manning, and it's really kind of funny. And of course they've got some Steelers stuff in there, and all kinds of other shots they get in. But it's kind of funny. So if you have Bleacher Report, go look at the new Game of Zones if you have the app on your phone. Which, like, we probably all do, right? Calvin Ridley and the Falcons. Oh, another relic. It's $1.99. I wanted that to be signed for you. But it's a relic. That's numbered to 149. That is numbered to 75 with Frank Gore. To 249 for Jarvis Landry. Bless him. To $4.99 Jamal Williams. I keep thinking those are numbered. I keep trying to put them over there in the numbered pile. There's a Saquon Barkley to $4.99 for the Giants. You have a second-year Thurman Munson, nice, going into to PSA. Really very nice. You'll have to let us know how that comes back, Ellen. Will Fuller to 399 Texans. That's to 199 Evan Ingram. And the Death Stalker, if you're still on here, you were talking about Magic the Gathering. And I do not know enough about that to even be dangerous. I just don't know hardly anything about Magic the Gathering. But I do know several of my distributors have it. I think it's only supposed to go to hobby stores, though, so my hobby store guy would have to order it. But, like, I don't even know enough about it to know if it's something that I should be ordering. I don't even know if I have time to deal with it anyway. That's to 100. It's Carlton Davis for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, we're already working in the Upper Deck Goodwin Champions, but, you know, honestly, why wouldn't we, right? I mean, that's the only place we're going to find Ben Simmons, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Miles Bridges. I mean, all those guys that are exclusive to Upper Deck, that's where we're going to find them. Plus Ohtani's in there and Tiger Woods, Serena Williams. I mean, it's a nice product. But so I've already got that going along. Jaleel Scott to 49 for the Ravens. I've also got some Star Wars that I need to break, which I didn't do it when it came out because they only gave me a half a case when I asked for a whole case. So I just kind of sat it off to the side and I've done nothing with it. So I don't even know if I want to get into Magic the Gathering anyway, but I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Like I have extra time. Haha. Yeah, not really. Last box mojo, guys. Let's work it collectively and pull some heat out of here. This is our housekeeping area so far. We've got 3 rewards points, 2 redemptions, 1 dual team relic, all these dual team acetates. That's what our housekeeping list looks like at the moment. And we're not clocking too awfully badly. We're right now at the 2-hour mark, so that's not bad considering all that we've opened tonight. That's not too bad at all. I thought it might actually stretch into longer than that, but maybe not. I mean, well, obviously not, because it's already, you know, we're not going to go as late as I thought we were. Even after we do housekeeping, I don't think we'll be as late as I kind of thought it might go. So not too bad. Okay, here we go. Let's check it out and see what's what. That to 299. We have another hit for the Falcons, numbered to 100 with Russell Gage. I think I grabbed the wrong sleeve, but that's all right. We can fix that later at another point in time. Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the Green Bay Packers. And that is numbered to 199 with the Traquan Smith. For the Saints, Calais Campbell is numbered to 25, so we will stop and put him in the sleeve right now. To 249, that was Rashad Penny. And looking onward here, Kirk Cousins to 249 for the Vikings. Jamon Moore again. At least that one's just a relic. 499. Another one of our matchup cards. That one is numbered to 299 as well. It's going to go up there in the corner. Numbered to 75. It's Jimmy G, who had a sad ACL tear out for the year. Well, finally, you know what? The Browns were like, are you kidding me? You know, the Browns have gone through this whole box going, are you kidding me? Really? And look where we are. It's the last pack of the last box of a 16-box case. We turn over the Baker Mayfield. So, you know, up to this point, if you got the Browns, you've probably just been cussing, right? Well, we redeemed you right here at the end with Last Box Mojo. That is Baker Mayfield, numbered to 175. The next to last hit out, because we still have that. But the last pack of the last box of a 16-box case. Crazy. So you know they were sweating that out. Oh, Ed, you had a no-hit on Spectra last night on an 8-box break. Yeah, I mean, definitely for sure. You can have it happen. Jake Elliott and the Philadelphia Eagles. That numbered to 25. Like, you're not going to pull a whole lot of Jake Elliott cards. So, there you go. Kind of cool in that sense. We've got a ton of stuff to recap, but before we recap, we've got all of our housekeeping to do. But I'm just kind of getting our hits situated. We've got some redemptions to flip over. We've got rewards points to give away. And we've got all kinds of things that are going to need to go to random.org, which is this whole gigantic stack of stuff. All right, so let's look at our redemptions first. We will go to the website and verify them because I always do. You know how I am with that. We like to make it all nice and official. Jaleel Scott, of course, that's going to be a Raven. First Impressions autographed memorabilia. Our second around is, oh, look at that. Imagine that. It's also the exact same thing. First Impressions autographed memorabilia. Both Jaleel Scott. Like, what the what? And by the way, he's live in the product because we already pulled him a couple times that way too. So, if you've got the Ravens, you are now loaded up with Jaleel Scott. So, there you go for that. Let's get ourselves, we were using this for basketball earlier, so we've got to get back to square one so we can get ourselves to the right checklist to start things off. Would be a good first step here. And what did I say our card set was? First impression autographs, right? Rookie? Or was it memorabilia? First Impressions autographed memorabilia. There we go. Card number 115 is going to be numbered to 499. So let me get these labeled up here. And then we will move on to our next task. We've got a lot of little tasks tonight, as a matter of fact. So let's move ourselves back over to here. Put these in the recap pile, and we're going to take a look at this. So it is Rashad Penny and Dante Pettis. The card is numbered to 5. So we have the Seahawks and the 49ers in play there. So what we will first do is go to the spreadsheet, see if we happen to get lucky enough to have the same team owner. And look at that, we do. Oh, that works out so well. So well, that happened tonight in Collegiate Flawless too. So yay, we do not have to go to random with that super nice low numbered relic because we have the same team owner for both teams. So congratulations, you did very well with your choices there, right? You hedged your bets well. So now we've got all of these, and there are gigantic numbers of these. So here's what I'm thinking, that this is what's going to happen basically. Let me go back to like this, for instance. This is a good one to use. So it's Saquon Barkley and Le'Veon Bell. And they're both numbered to 299. They're identical except, you know, they have a slightly different number. This is 135 and that's number 120 or whatever. But so here's what we would do in this case. One of these would go to the Giants. One of these will go to the Steelers because they're both numbered and they both have the same players. So let's see, just for the sake of argument, if there are any more of those in here or not of that particular card. And it looks like there are not. So those will be split exactly like that. One will go to the Giants. One will go to the Steelers. And my iPad managed to time itself out when I wasn't looking. So let me get logged back in. Okay, so does that make sense? Now, for example, if we had 5 of those, then I would send 2 to the Giants, 2 to the Steelers, and the 5th one would go out using random, which we're going to do here in a minute. But that's just because there are so many duplicates. I don't see any reason to like withhold some of these from a team. You know what I mean? Like, why should we don't everybody need to have 5 and we'll just split them up sort of thing. So I'm just doing a quick kind of little glance here to figure out sort of where we're at, what we're looking like, and then we'll go to random with what we need to do as soon as I kind of look through these for a minute. Those are not the same, but I'm just setting them there to help me keep track of what we do have so that I have an idea of how many odd numbers. Who is that? A raven and an eagle. Do we have a raven and an eagle matchup anywhere? I feel like I'm playing that game where you do, you know, like things match up and then they flip over and then you have to remember where you saw the matching one. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. But it is for the greater good. I know you're kind of going, why do you have to do that right now? It doesn't matter. It kind of does matter, but in the grand scheme of things. Okay. So there are 2 of these, Julio Jones and Antonio Callaway. They are both unnumbered. They will go 1 to each team. Ezekiel Elliott and LaDainian Tomlinson, both unnumbered, 1 to each team. Christian Kirk and Odell Beckham Jr., this one is numbered, this one is not. So these we're going to set aside because they're not exactly the same. Here we have the Broncos and the Ravens, both unnumbered, 1 to each team. This we have 3 of, and 2 of them are numbered. All 3 of them are numbered. So we'll do 1 to the Cardinals, 1 to the Seahawks. 1's going to go over here in our random pile because it's the extra, right? It's the odd numbered one. Rosen and Wilson, I think we only have 1 of that. So it's going to go in our pile. Brady and Bradshaw, both unnumbered, 1 to each team. This is Aaron Rodgers and Roger Staubach. There are 3. 1 is numbered, 2 are not. The unnumbered will go 1 Packers, 1 Cowboys. The numbered goes in our pile that we're going to deal with in a minute. Kerryon Johnson and Dalvin Cook. 1 is numbered, 1 isn't. So those both stay in our random pile. There's only 1 of that. It goes here. There's only 1 of that one. So it's staying here. Only 1 Raven Eagle. Only 1 Ram Bronco. Only 1 Falcon Bengal. And there are 2 Bills Chargers. There, 1 is numbered, 1 is not. Okay, so these have to stay in our pile here. Actually, well, maybe not. Hang on. Yeah, because those were different numbered. That's why I did that. Okay, so yes, all of these are staying in our pile. And what we're going to do is go to random, and I'm going to type in left side of the card and right side of the card, left and right. And I will hit random 3 different times. The first 2 will not count. Wherever we end up on the 3rd one is where that stuff is going to go that's in this pile. So if it came up on the right-hand side of the card, for instance, it would go to the Giants. If it comes up on the left, it would go to the Cardinals. And that's the way we're going to do that whole stack. So we just have to do random the 1 single time, and that's going to assign all of the cards that needed to be assigned. So that's how that works. All right, so this is left side. I always enter things left to right or top to bottom, depending on how a card is oriented. And remember, 3rd random is the decision making, so ignore the first 2. So you can ignore that one, ignore the 2nd one. Here's our 3rd and final, and there's 3 times our date and time stamp. It comes up as the right-hand side of the card. So, wrong sleeve again. For my own benefit, I'm going to circle the top one of these, and then I'll keep this stack separate. So this did blah, 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 blah. That's how this whole stack is going. So that's going Giants, Vikings, Giants, Vikings, Charger, Charger, Bengal, Bronco, Eagle, Viking, Seahawk, Cowboy, Seahawk, Seahawk. Okay? And the reason some of those came out the way they did, remember, because they were either numbered or they were numbered differently. There was something that kept them from being identical, which is why those were not given out the same way the others were, which is one per team. These are the ones that are one per team. So one would go, obviously, one to the Giants, one to the Steelers, one to the Browns, one to the Falcons, one Cowboys, one Charger, one Bronco, one Raven, one Cardinal, one Seahawk, one Patriot, one Steeler, one Packer, one Cowboy. So there is that recapped. And now we have these to give away. These all replaced a hit somewhere along the way. I'm happy that we only found 3 because honestly, sometimes when you do this many boxes and in a product like this, sometimes you will find more than that and it can be kind of frustrating. So in this instance, we only found 3 out of 80 hits. That's not too bad. So as you see there, I just copied all of the teams from the spreadsheet. We're going to roll right back over here to random. And this time we've got 32 items in our list. So I'm not going to do random multiple times. I'm going to do it one single time. Here we're scrolling through. You can just see where everything was correctly copied and pasted in there. What will happen is it will be the first 3 teams. So after I hit randomize, the team that is listed in the number 1 spot, then in the number 2 spot, then in the number 3 spot, each will get one of those points cards, okay? So good luck, everyone. Here we go. So one is going to the Saints, one to the Cowboys, and one to the Texans. So Saint, Cowboy, and Texan. And just as an FYI, if we happen to have points cards of differing values, we don't tonight, but sometimes we do. And when that happens, then it would go, of course, the highest point would go to the number 1, and the next point, you know, the next lowest to the number 2, and so on. So Saint, Cowboy, Texan, they're all the same value, so there's no need to worry about who got what in what order. Just the fact that they got them. So getting these all labeled up, I put them into sleeves, by the way, so I didn't write directly on your card. Not that it really matters, but just in case it would, you know, cause you to have some anxiety, I did not write directly on your card. Jesse said you should give 1 to 3 people. Yeah, that's of course exactly what I just did. Yeah, I don't ever give those all out to one person because that just seems silly. When we've got multiples, they're going to go to multiple people all the time. So, all right, now we are going to recap this. This is the one that is so nice. It is numbered to 5, and the same person owned both teams, so it didn't have to go to random. So yay. Then we had our rewards points. 1 to the Saints, 1 to the Texans, 1 to the Cowboys. Thank you, random.org, for deciding that for us. 2 identical redemptions. How stupid is that? Thank you, Panini, for not doing any better job of sorting. But anyway, helps out the Ravens with Jaleel Scott. And you have a couple of redemptions for him there, and you got a bunch of him live here in the product, too. So, you know, there you go. All right, now we're going to recap things. I'm kind of going to bust a move through most of the recap. We're not, as I typically do, we don't really stop and read off all the numbers and things again, unless it's really nice. Like if it's a 1 of 1 or something that is amazing, then we will, you know, look at front and back again and all that. But otherwise, when we recap, it's kind of just one more pass through looking at the front of the card to get you back on track if you wandered away or you're watching the recap or you just got to write them all down. If you happen to be like Edward, who has so many hits he probably can't remember all of them, he's probably, you know, going back through here right now saying, hey, I didn't remember that I hit that, but yet he did. Matt Ryan, There's a bunch of Matt Ryan relics. Well, maybe not a bunch, 2, I think, or maybe 3. But anyway, more than you usually would think you have in something. So, and there's that Baker Mayfield, that elusive Baker Mayfield who hung out until the next to last box and just wrecked somebody's night where they were in a really bad mood, I bet, right until they saw that. Because I would have been. I'm just relating it as I would to my own break experiences. If I've bought into something and then I've watched a bunch of boxes and nothing's come out for my team and I'm like, you start kind of grumbling and you're like, oh, man. Then suddenly your card shows up and, it's all good again. That's how I am anyway. I really do like that Bengals patch because you don't very many get with part of the stripes on them. Generally, they just give you one color really boring. So I'm a fan of the Bengals patch there. It's a nice one. And of course, when we finish this, there's the Josh Allen. We will go back to the spreadsheet and take one more look at anticipated shipping dates. We will also take another run through the list of auctions that are coming up here over the course of the next 5 days. So you have a little info about what to expect in the days ahead. All of our encased cards, Cortland Sutton for the Broncos. This is probably my favorite. Out of all the cards tonight, I think this is my favorite. And it's Mike Singletary and Dan Hampton for the Bears. And I love, love, love that little throwback card. It's nice. Throwback autos, I mean. And you would think this would be my favorite. And if not for the 85 Bears, it would be. Because I really do like Donnie Shell. And that's not one you pull very often. For the Steelers, it's numbered to 25. And there's Jaleel Scott live in the product. So why we also had redemptions for him is anybody's guess. But we did. Jamon Moore and the Packers. That is Harold Landry for the Titans. Dante Pettis for the 49ers. The Stephon Diggs to 5 for the Vikings. Mr. Anthony Miller and the Bears. Leighton Vander Esch, Dallas Cowboys. Kerryon Johnson red ink for the Lions. Derwin James is a nice hit for the Chargers. Little Mason Rudolph action for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jair Alexander, I think that's nice if you've got the Packers. And he's surprisingly not much better than Jamon Moore, by the way. At least you get the A for Alexander, but I think they must have, sat next to each other in class when you learned how to write your name. Doris Fountain in a red ink parallel for the Colts. And then the kicker here for the Eagles, Jake Elliott. So that is our massive amount of breaks tonight. But wasn't that fun? I love new release day. It's so awesome. It is like it, and I like it very much. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our spreadsheet information back up. I'm just now looking back over at chat. You guys are talking about scratch-off lottery tickets. I like scratch-off lottery tickets, but I haven't played any in a while. But I do like them for what it's worth. And then what else did you say? Oh, yeah. Ellen. Ellen says she's limited her breaks to here. She's not a paid spokesperson, though. But it helps you stay within your budget. And, well, that makes sense, Then you can kind of plan out, right? You look at the week. You plan out what you want to jump into. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I got it. All right, so one more time, please remember there is no mail service on Monday. That means no pickup, no delivery. Of course, there's never any on Sunday. The post office always closes early on Saturdays. So that means I am projecting a Tuesday date for everything out the door. And that sounds awful. That's so much farther out than I would want that to be. And I'm going to try exceedingly hard to get it out before that. But I can't promise you, so I'm leaving it set for Tuesday. And just know that I'm going to be working my little fingers, to the bone, trying to get it out to you faster than that. And of course, as always, if you got nothing in a break, you are entitled to a consolation card. If you're in the free break, it will usually ship out with your next package. If you are in the paid break, it will ship out when the rest of the break goes out. And if you're in the free break and you don't want to wait for it to go out with the next package, just shoot me a little message on eBay. We'll hook you up. Coming up in the days ahead, tomorrow night we're going to do a half case of Leaf autographed football jerseys. First half of a new case, Flawless Collegiate, and I hope it does better than tonight's did, or you know what, I might have to have a box of tissues sitting next to me for the break. I don't know. But we're going to give another go and open some more Flawless Collegiate tomorrow night. We're also going to open another case of Impeccable Basketball because it was pretty awesome tonight. And another case of Archive Signature Series Retired Players Edition. Friday night will find us opening some mini helmets, first half of a new case, more Flawless Collegiate, some more National Treasures Baseball, yay, and more Bowman Chrome. Saturday we're going to start early at 9:30 because we're going to have a big monster upper deck break that night. But before that, we'll open an autographed baseball glove, a half case of baseball jerseys. That's the back half of the case. An autographed full-size football helmet, more Flawless Collegiate, and then a 16-box master case of Upper Deck Goodwin Champions. If you're not familiar with it, you can read all the sell sheet information in the pictures that I have there on the listing. And of course, always at the bottom of my listings, if you go to the very bottom of the description, there's always a cut and paste from the manufacturer's info as well. But there's all kinds of stuff you can pull in there, autographs that you can't get anywhere else. Ben Simmons, Michael Jordan, Miles Bridges, Wayne Gretzky, Tiger Woods, LeBron James. There's lots of them. Sunday, we're going to do Leaf Best of Baseball. That's another one that is an awesome product. It's buyback cards. They're not Leaf cards, guys. These are Topps cards and Panini cards and Upper Deck cards. And they're always very nice. And it's an awesome break. And it's a very, very short print this year. Not a lot of that floating around. More Bowman High Tech, which I think might be our last case of that. And then it's going to be an 8-box case of Illusions on Sunday night, as opposed to the 16 that we did tonight. We're only going to do 8 on Sunday night. Monday night, a half case of autographed basketball jerseys, some more Archive Signature Series Retired Edition, more Flawless Collegiate, another case of National Treasures Baseball, and another case of Impeccable Basketball. So, you see what we've got going? A lot. And there's even more that I don't have scheduled yet. Like Panini's Contenders Draft Picks Baseball, which comes out tomorrow. Like Heritage High Number that we still have some of. Heritage Minor League that we still have some of. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming, guys. So next week's going to be crazy. We're going to try to run through a lot of that, get caught up on a lot of it. So we're going to be breaking like mad for the next 7 to 10 days. So hopefully I will see you again somewhere along the way in our stretch of marathon breaks here. In the meantime, thank you again for joining me this evening. I appreciate you hanging out with me, bidding with me, breaking with me, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye now.